In today's episode, my 16-year-old European car decides to do European car things. And by that, I mean we got a leaky roof, so let's take care of this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like most European car owners where I just decide not to take care of things until like the last minute, so this has been an issue for quite a while. Thankfully, it's only leaking from the aerial antenna and it's something easy to fix. Before I get into the how-to, I should tell you about the different types of antennas that were made for the Saab 9III. If you've been absolutely blessed by the GM gods and have OnStar equipped, you'll need to get an OnStar specific antenna to keep your radio functions. All Saabs from the factory came with a hole stamped in the roof regardless of the spec, so it's crucial that you cover it up. The dummy antenna is rubber and it's probably worn away at this point, so you're pretty much in the same boat as me. I couldn't find a proper factory spec one, and all the ones I could find were the tacky carbon fiber looking ones, so I just went with a BMW style aerial fin. First thing we need to do is make as much space as possible so we can actually fit in the car and do this semi-comfortably. We need to move the front seats as far up as possible. Unfortunately, my Saab has the poor person spec and only the driver's seat is power adjustable. So we'll move that forward, and then the passenger one, we just have to crank that by hand. Now we'll open up the trunk and lay down the back seats. This ideally should give you the most room, just be careful not to bash your head while getting in. I recommend trying to stuff one foot into the trunk first, and then contorting yourself the rest of the way in. We have to start disassembly with the rear parcel shelf, which is thankfully held on with only 3 Christmas tree clips. Once you knock those out, grab the shelf with 2 hands, pull up and out towards the front of the car. Let's just put this right around here. I think that might be good. Ooh, and another thing, before I forget, let's take off the oh shit handles. Pull on either end to get the 2 clips out and pull the handle towards you and it should come right out. Next up, we have to get the Cpillars. Grab a screwdriver just to make this a little easier and pry out the airbag logo. Then locate your handy dandy 10mm on an extension and get the 10mm bolt loose. To remove the Cpillar, grab the bottom and pull inwards to release the clips. We are almost there, only 2 more things to remove, and then we'll have access to the aerial. We need to remove this little plastic tab and it simply pulls right out. Honestly, this piece shouldn't be able to do that. You have to kind of hold up the headliner and then twist it to the left or the right and then pull it out. This thing is broken beyond recognition at this point, so just keep that in mind before you start yanking at things. And then lastly, we just have to pull this little plastic plate out and we're all set to go. Okay, so now to actually get to the aerial fin, you gotta get out of the car and get back in, but you have to do it so where your back rests where the parcel shelf would be, and your legs are gonna be sitting on the armrest. This way you're looking straight up at where the aerial fin is, and you have a little bit of a better access to actually get the bolt loose. Thankfully, the bolt is loose, so I could just remove it with my hand, but if you can't, grab a crescent wrench or I think it's a 19mm, kind of like a ratcheting wrench, and just try to get it off. Now just worm your way out of the car and take that awful aerial fin from out of the top of the roof. I'm so glad that this roughly cut hole hasn't rusted through yet. Before I put the new antenna on, I'll just give it a nice wipe down with some rubbing alcohol to properly clean the surface. And the same thing with the antenna. All that's left to do is slap the adhesive on and just slap it back on the roof. Shit, I forgot all about the plastic that is now outside of my vehicle. The installation process is the reverse of removal, so let's just roll the time lapse. And bam, that's it. I hopefully won't have any more leaks. In the next videos, I'll try to get the headliner stains removed even though it's about a year's worth of rainy water stains, but I'll just handle that headache in the next video. Thank you for watching.